So hi everyone, welcome to the Good Food Bucks 101 info session for farms and farmers markets. My name is Lisa Martin. I'm the Director of Food Access with City Green, and I also have my team members here with me, Robbie and Chase. Robbie and Chase, you want to just introduce yourselves quickly?
Hello, my name is Robbie, and I'm the Good Food Bucks manager here at City Green.
And hello, my name's Chase, and I'm the Marketing and Communications Associate for the Good Food Bucks program at City of Green.
So thank you everyone for joining us today. Again, this is a general information session about the Good Food Bucks program. So we're going to give an overview of how it works, what the program is, and how you can participate. So Robbie, if you want to go to the next slide. So just an overview of the agenda for today's session. Again, we're going to give an overview of the Good Food Bucks program, as well as the benefits of joining and why you might want to participate. And then we'll dig into some of the eligibility and implementation requirements around taking SNAP and the type of capacity that you need to have to be able to operate Good Food Bucks. And we'll conclude with how you can actually apply. We'll show you what that application looks like. And we will have time for questions at the end. So save your questions or put them into the chat along the way, and then we will address them at the end. If you have anything super specific, you can put it in the chat if you like or ask it, but we might want to have a separate session with you. You know, we are available for one-on-one meetings and calls after this. So if you have something really specific to your market that you want to dig into, definitely reach out to us and we'll set up some time to chat. Okay, so next slide. So just to give some context for who we are, City Green is a nonprofit organization. We focus on urban farming and gardening. We were founded in 2004, and we connect people to food and nature through a whole wide variety of programs. We have a county-wide community garden program up here in Passaic County. We also have a statewide school garden program. We do things like story time in the garden and farm festivals. And then in our food access department, where Chase and Robbie and I work, we have a Vegemobile farm stand program. We have our own farms here in Clifton and in Mount Olive and grow fruits and vegetables to sell at our Vegemobile mobile market. And we also have our statewide Good Food Bucks SNAP Nutrition Incentive Program, which is the thing we're here to talk about today. And we'll talk more about what that looks like. And feel free to check out our website at citygreenonline.org. So we're going to show a little video clip here that just gives a quick overview of the Good Food Bucks program. So Robbie, if you want to hit play on that.
If you have a Family's First card, Good Food Bucks matches your fruit and veggie purchases. So when you use your Family's First card at participating farmers markets and grocery stores, you'll earn free Good Food Bucks, which you use to bring home more fresh fruits and veggies. Good Food Bucks not only helps families bring home more healthy food, it also supports New Jersey farmers and local businesses. Join the thousands of people across New Jersey who have used Good Food Bucks to get more fruits and vegetables.
Great. So Good Food Bucks is a SNAP nutrition incentive program. So we're incentivizing people to use their SNAP benefits with participating retailers so that they can stretch their food dollars further and encourage them to purchase more healthy, fresh fruits and vegetables. Good Food Bucks is part of a national effort. SNAP incentive programs happen in almost every state across the US, and they're really effective programs. So there's been many years of research behind these programs, and it's been shown that folks actually eat more fresh fruits and vegetables in a clinically significant amount, but when they participate in SNAP incentives. And simultaneously, the program increases revenue and customer bases for farmers. So we always say it has this like double or triple impact. It's helping people stay healthy with fruit and vegetable options. It's generating revenue and keeping federal dollars circulating in the economy locally. So, you know, they're really impactful in a wide variety of ways. And there's a lot of support across, you know, different sectors and different political parties for these types of programs. Next slide. And City Green has been offering good food bucks for a really long time. We started back in 2011 just at our own farm stands, and the program has really snowballed to now incorporate over 30 farms and farmers markets, as well as about 20 grocery stores, over 20 grocery stores across the whole state of New Jersey. So we've been running this for a long time, and they're really effective and a great way to engage with the community and increase revenue for your farm or your market. So in a nutshell of how this works, we're going to dig into like what it looks like on the ground to run this program a little bit later. But basically, folks are shopping for SNAP eligible items with a SNAP eligible retailer. So that would be your farm or your market taking SNAP benefits. They have to pay with their SNAP card in order to receive the good food bucks. So the SNAP payment triggers the incentive. And the incentive is provided either as a coupon or a discount, and it's only for fresh fruits and vegetables. Yeah, if you saw Robbie's video, he was holding up an example of a good food buck coupon. It'll look a little bit different for every site depending on what your register system is, and your coupon printing capacity or tokens, whatever is the best fit for you. But it's a coupon or a discount, and it's only for fresh fruits and vegetables. So, you may have heard other programs that allow for canned or frozen vegetables. Good Food Bucks program is an incentive program for fresh fruits and vegetables. So they can spend their SNAP dollars on any SNAP eligible items, but the Good Food Bucks are only for fresh produce. Next slide. So yeah, just to transition us, like I said, this is a SNAP incentive program. So Robbie's just going to give us some context about what the SNAP program is and who is using SNAP in New Jersey.
Hello again. Again, my name is Robbie. I'm the manager of the Good Food Bucks program. So I'm often the primary contact for anything going on with the program. I'm sending all of our partners monthly emails, checking in, talking about any issues, and just being an avenue of support for everyone. So as Lisa mentioned, Good Food Bucks is a SNAP nutrition incentive program. SNAP is different from other benefits programs that people receive in New Jersey. Many of you likely receive or offer FMNP benefits, the Farmers Market Nutrition Program, or WIC is another big benefit, but SNAP is separate from those benefits, and we work with the SNAP program exclusively with all of our partners. SNAP stands for the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. It's the modern day version of what we've referred to as food stamps. In 2008, they transitioned the program from physical food stamps to a debit card-like system. So people have their Families First SNAP EBT card, electric benefits transfer card that they can use at any grocery stores and participating farmers markets, farms, any locations that have food ingredient items available. So SNAP can only be used on food items. It cannot be used on prepared food items. So in New Jersey, you cannot use your Families First EBT card at a restaurant. It can be used at grocery stores, farmers markets, farms, anywhere that is selling food items to make a meal out of. To get an estimate of how many people are using SNAP in this country, there are 41 million people per month in the country. There's an average of 827,000 New Jersey residents. And in New Jersey, the average monthly benefit per person is $194 with SNAP. New Jersey also has a minimum SNAP benefit that's significantly higher than other states. The New Jersey state government passed a bill to make the minimum SNAP benefit $94 per person. In some other states, it's as low as like $20 per month. $94 it's still not a ton per month for your entire grocery bill, but significantly more, takes you significantly farther than $20 will. And the people using SNAP, 64% are families with children, 37% are families with older adults or disabled family members, and 31% are working families. So it's a benefit program for low-income shoppers to receive groceries and help them stretch their budgets farther to make sure they're able to get food to feed their families. And SNAP, EBT, Families First are all names that will be used for the same program, but separate from these other benefits programs like FMNP and WIC. I really liked this quote from Mark Cheatham, who's works for the city of East Orange, works with the East Orange Farmers Market. Good food books matter in our community. This program benefits the residents in East Orange and should be applauded and expanded. The city of East Orange is grateful to City of Green for the superb administration of the Good Food Bucks program and the consistent support provided. We work really hard to support all of our partners, and we work with farms and farmers markets. We work with grocery stores, both the big box stores and small corner stores. And we work really hard to develop really meaningful partnerships with all of our partners. We are serving our community members who are shopping with SNAP, but we also are serving you all, our partners in this program. We really want to make sure that it's a worthwhile program for you all. We want to make sure that you are seeing the benefit of it, that you have shoppers coming and using the benefit, that it's supporting your incomes. And we try to always be available to help answer any questions, help support, and have really thought through how much we're able to offer all of our partners. You can see on the right some elements of what we offer to our partners. In the next slide, we have that in more detail. The benefits of participating in the Good Food Bucks program. As Lisa mentioned, Good Food Bucks is a grant program for farms and markets. So you all are the ones who are operating this benefit for your shoppers, but we are the ones providing the grants, making it able to do that, providing the infrastructure, and giving all of the training and support required for it. So being in our program means that you are eligible to receive up to $10,000 per year in grants for Good Food Bucks reimbursements. So if shoppers are shopping with SNAP and buying fruits and vegetables, then they can shop throughout the year for up to $10,000, and we're covering the other half of that. So, basically it means that you're getting twice as much profit. You're able to offer 50% off discounts to your shoppers using SNAP, and you're not, we're the ones covering the cost. So it's a really great way to be able to offer discounts and not have to cover that yourself. And we're able to provide that up to $10,000. We have had some of our partners get very, very close to that $10,000 budget. You might not get close to that in your first year. Often it's a little bit of a learning process for shoppers using SNAP to even maybe know that their local farmers market or farm is accepting SNAP. But we found that after 2 years of being in the program, we found that after 1 year of being in the program, our partners have found their SNAP sales to increase by an average of 150%. And after 2 years of being in the program, farmers and farmers markets found their SNAP sales to increase by an average of 300%. So, once you are in the program and established, your SNAP sales do increase year by year substantially. We also provide a series of funding and materials for marketing and promotion. We provide a package of Good Food Bucks marketing materials that Chase will talk about later. And we also provide a $500 check for marketing and promotion and some general operations costs specifically related to the Good Food Bucks program. So it's a great way to just have that money to help support with any flyers or outreach that you're doing to help promote that you're offering the program. We also provide technical support, trainings, resources for everything SNAP, WIC, and FMMP. Our program is a SNAP doubling incentive program for fruits and vegetables, but we also are willing to have one-on-one sessions to talk about everything with FMMP as well, being supportive for that. We have a lot of resources on our website, but we're always happy to have one-on-one meetings to talk about getting authorized for SNAP, getting set up with the Good Food Bucks program. We love just talking to farmers and farmers markets like us, all around the state. We have an online training program that all of our partners complete once you have been deemed eligible to join. And we provide various technical assistance, one-on-one meetings. We'll come and visit and help out. Yeah. And lastly, we include you in all of our promotion. We've done statewide advertising campaigns. We've done YouTube ads. We've done online ads, Instagram, Facebook to help promote the program. We've been able to do that very targeted per region to help support our partners individually. We have a lot of ideas for other ways that we want to support our new partners individually, and we're always doing our own social media posts, outreach. So we want to definitely do everything we can to make sure that you're in our program, and then we are supporting you and promoting that you're in our program. We also have collective data, opportunities to connect with other farms and farmers markets in the program. Yeah, again, we just want to do everything that we can to make you all feel well supported and really make this benefit a benefit not just for the customers, but for you all as well. Lastly, just some Good Food Bucks impact from the past 6 years. Since 2019, we've had over $160,000 in Good Food Bucks redeemed at our various farms and farmers markets specifically. And so this is for our SNAP Good Food Bucks, and it's been increasing significantly year by year. We expect this number by the end of 2025 to be significantly higher. For example, $68,000 of that was in 2024 alone. We've been able to grow this program at our farms and farmers markets significantly, and a lot of our farms and farmers markets are seeing significant income coming exclusively from our program. Since 2019, we've estimated that over 13,000 families have been served by the Good Food Bucks program at our various farm and farmers market partners. 90 plus farmers have received income from the Good Food Bucks program. We work with individual farmers who might vend at multiple different farmers markets or just at their own farm. We also work with full farmers markets, which means that all of their farmers are in the program and benefiting from it. So yeah, 91 farmers in 2024 were in our program in some shape or form. And some of you might have benefited from the program at one of your farmers markets, but not accepted it yourself. And that's a great benefit of the farmers market accepting it. But also when you're accepting it, you're able to accept it at all of the locations you vend at. It's not dependent on the farmers market. And lastly, we've had in 2024 over 60 different farmers market and farm locations participating in the Good Food Bucks program. Some of these, again, were farmers vending at multiple different farmers markets. Some of them were the farmers market itself, vending for all their farmers. So it's a little different at every single location we work with. This year, Good Food Bucks will be available in over 70 different municipalities, and we're excited to announce that this is the first year that we will be in every single county in the state. So we're really, really excited about that. Finally going to have a partner in every single county and be able to serve customers and all over the state. And I will take it back over to Lisa for the next section.
Awesome. Thanks, Robbie. So we've talked about what the program is, the benefits of joining, and so now we'll go into who is eligible to join Good Food Bucks. And so we really work hard to work with any fresh produce retailer. Farms and farmers markets are really at the heart of this program. It grew out of City Green's own farm stand. So local food is kind of at the core of all of this. So any SNAP authorized farm, farmers market, CSA program, mobile farm stand, farm store is eligible to join if you're based in New Jersey and you are SNAP authorized. So I kind of just wanted to talk a little bit about the SNAP authorization piece. Of course, as we've said many times at this point, this is a SNAP incentive program. So taking SNAP benefits is step one to getting involved in Good Food Bucks. We do have a lot of resources available to help you through that SNAP authorization process. If you're interested in like a webinar or training on SNAP authorization itself, pop it in the chat or send us an email and we can help you work through that process. But getting the SNAP authorization is number one, and you do have to do that through the USDA Food and Nutrition Service. You'll see a little screenshot here at the bottom of our workbook and toolkit that we've created that walks you through the steps of that application process. And it can take a few weeks, usually a couple months, like 2 to 3 months to get through the SNAP authorization process. So if you aren't SNAP authorized yet and you're just kind of like interested in that process or looking into it, just be prepared for a little bit of a wait time for them to process your application. And like Robbie mentioned, there's different ways to take SNAP. If you're a farmer's market, you can become a SNAP authorized market that takes SNAP on behalf of all of your vendors. You can also just become a SNAP authorized farmer and take it at your individual booth or farm store. And the application does look a little bit different for each of those entities and how you're selling the food. So again, if you're interested in support on that, we do offer that. So just reach out to us and we can walk you through it. So you have to, get your SNAP authorization, and then after that, you have to make sure you have your SNAP equipment, which means a card reader machine. So I'm sure we're all familiar with different types of card reader machines that take credit cards, debit. It's the same thing for SNAP, but you do have to get your equipment set up to process the benefits, and attach your bank account so it auto deposits into the right place for you when those benefits are swiped. So again, we have resources on like all those different equipment options. There's a ton of different technologies at this point. So you're getting your SNAP authorization, your EBT equipment so that you can process a card. And this is a really important one. You want to make sure that you have the staff capacity. So the Good Food Bucks program does require a little bit of capacity, right? You need to have someone who's there to swipe the cards and give out the coupons. There's data tracking that has to happen that we'll get into in a little bit. So you really do need a dedicated staff person or a trained volunteer or intern who can dedicate attention to making sure this operates smoothly and adheres to the regulations, and is successful at your market. So once you have all of those things, you got your SNAP authorization, you have your equipment, you feel prepared resource-wise and staff-wise to implement, then you can apply for Good Food Bucks. And Robbie will go through that application process a little bit later. But this is sort of like the baseline of what you need to get involved. Next slide, Robbie. And I just wanted to touch on some SNAP rules and regulations. So once you become SNAP authorized, you are responsible for making sure that you are adhering to the SNAP rules and regulations that apply to all SNAP retailers, whether you're a bodega or a farmer's market or a supermarket. Everyone has the same rules and regulations, and you must adhere to those. So City Green doesn't monitor these things, but you should be aware of them and be compliant with them. Otherwise, your SNAP authorization could be revoked and your participation in Good Food Bucks could also be revoked. And this is especially important when you have a lot of staff, or you have a large farmer's market with a lot of vendors that you're working with. You want to make sure that everyone understands which foods are and are not SNAP eligible. We have some postcards and resources that detail all of this. It's essentially any food items are SNAP eligible with a few exceptions. You have to be able to process the transactions appropriately, and that includes having a refund option when it's appropriate. So most pieces of equipment do have that function, but you just want to make sure that everyone knows how to do that. You can't charge sales tax, and you can't give cash change for SNAP sales, so you can't exchange any other type of currency for SNAP benefits. If you are already SNAP authorized, you might have gotten an email from the USDA a few days ago asking everyone to make sure they have these SNAP fraud and abuse posters up at their farm stands. So this "don't do it" sign, they're a little jarring, but it is a compliance requirement to help prevent SNAP fraud and abuse. So just make sure when you're getting your authorization that you're familiar with the SNAP regulations. Same thing, you can't be discriminatory, so SNAP shoppers cannot have a separate checkout line or experience any types of harassment. You are required to have like a "We welcome EBT benefits" or customers sign out. And those are all available for download, and we have some custom ones as well. I've put the links for these items up at the top here, and we can follow up with them to everyone in attendance. But following SNAP rules and regulations is very important for continuing in the Good Food Bucks program. Okay, and next slide, Robbie. Okay, so now we'll get a little bit more into the implementation requirements. So I'm going to talk about what it could look like for you to process SNAP and Good Food Bucks at your farm or farmer's market. So Robbie, if you want to actually just stop sharing the screen for a second, and I will demonstrate. So like we talked about, this is a SNAP incentive program. So folks are going to come to you as a vendor or as the market manager and ask how they can use their SNAP card here, or tell you that they want to purchase certain items with their SNAP card. So you're going to say, "Great, let's take your SNAP benefits." You swipe their card as you would any credit card or debit card on your card reader machine. They do enter their PIN number. SNAP cards work like a debit card, so you have to have pin functionality. And if you're a farmer's market and you have a lot of different vendors and you're taking SNAP on their behalf, you're going to have two types of currencies. One to represent the SNAP dollars that you swiped from their card. And then the second is the Good Food Buck currency. So in an example, let's say someone comes to you and says, I want to spend $5 for my SNAP card at the market today. You're going to swipe their SNAP card for $5 and you're going to give them 5 SNAP currencies. This could be tokens. It might be a printed paper. You know, we have resources for you about how you can create these different currencies, but you have a SNAP currency. And then with the Good Food Bucks program, you're going to say, we match your SNAP purchase. For every SNAP dollar you spend, you're getting a Good Food Buck dollar for fruits and vegetables. So they get 5 in SNAP bucks, 5 in Good Food Bucks. They now have $10 to go spend at the market. SNAP bucks they can use on any SNAP eligible items with vendors. Good Food Bucks are only for fresh fruits and vegetables. So these can only be redeemed with farmers and vendors selling fresh fruits and vegetables. And so again, you need to make sure that your vendors and your staff understand the difference between SNAP and Good Food Bucks. So you've given the customer their tokens, their bucks. You're going to record that transaction on a log. So it could be a digital log or a manual log. We have templates for that. But anytime you issue Good Food Bucks and process SNAP, you're going to record that transaction and write it down. So, okay, you've done that. The customer shops. You do that a few more times with a bunch of shoppers. At the end of the day, you're going to go around to all of the vendors at your market and collect any Good Food Bucks or SNAP currencies that were redeemed with those vendors. So Farmer Joe got 3 SNAP bucks and 7 Good Food Bucks. And you're going to log that as you go and collect those currencies that were redeemed. So now you have information about what was spent with each vendor, and you will reimburse them for those amounts. So again, this is like a reimbursement program for City Green to you, and you are reimbursing your farmers for the bucks that were spent with you. And then Robbie will get into data entry, but at the end of the month, you're going to give City Green an aggregate reporting of those transactions, how many Good Food Bucks and SNAP dollars went out and how many came back in. So that's how it works for a farmer's market for the most part. There's some nuances and different setups, but that's generally how it works. For a farm stand or a farmer or a CSA, if you're a sole vendor, you're not worried about other vendors, you're just taking it on behalf of your own farm stand. It's a little bit different and a little more simple. You can either offer a 50% discount on fresh fruits and vegetables. We really like that model because it's efficient. People understand what a 50% discount is. So it's easy to communicate, and the process of recording different amounts and transactions is a little bit easier. You're just applying a 50% discount to fresh produce items. You can also offer a coupon program. So you wouldn't, if you're the sole vendor, you wouldn't need the SNAP currency. You're just taking the SNAP payment on your card machine and that gets deposited to your bank account. But you can also issue coupons as a match instead of the 50% discount that they can use next time they shop. And so in both scenarios, it's okay for folks to take these home if they don't spend them that day and bring them back for next time they shop. And so after all of that, again, every month you're reporting that data to City Green, and if you have vendors and farmers, you're reimbursing them. And so I'm going to pass it off to Robbie, who's going to talk about what that data reporting looks like.
Hello again. Yeah, I'm not going to get too deep into it during this presentation. You know, we have, as I mentioned, we have our video trainings that we have for all of our partners once you're in the program that explain all these things much more in depth. But just as a very, very quick overview, every month you fill out our data form, and it really just asks for how many days you were open that month for the previous month. So it's March. This month you would have been uploading for February for the previous month. And it's your total data for the month. So it's how many days you were open, how much in Good Food Bucks you redeemed, whether that's how many physical paper Good Food Bucks you redeemed, or how much of discounts you gave to customers. So again, that's a really important thing to track if you're doing 50% off, like how much in discounts did you give? And then total Snap transactions, the amount of Snap redeemed, and that's it. So it looks a little bit long when you first look at the data form, but it really is. It's just that how many days you were open for the previous month, how much in discounts did you give out, total Snap redemptions, and that can be produced by your card reader, and total transaction amounts. There's a couple other questions at the bottom that are asking about like unique customers. We don't really need that information. All of the questions that we're asking are the exact questions we're required to report to the USDA each month. And we use the data form to send that directly from the data form to the USDA to let them know this is how much each of our partners redeemed for our program for the month and how much in Snap was redeemed at each of our partners. So that's a requirement for each month. The data forms automatically populate into a Google spreadsheet that is uniquely only shared with your organization. So every single time you upload into the data form, it'll add to your data document, and then you'll get to see everything that you uploaded for the entire year. So that's a great way to make it super easy to track. You don't need to like have your own spreadsheet and like remember what you put into the form. It's right there in the data document, and all of that is available on our data entry page. So there's a little behind the scenes on our Partners Hub. You have access to the data form. We also have our grocery stores one, and we have our list of retailers here, and you can see find your data document here. And again, it is a unique link just for your organization so that you are able to access it. No one else is going to be able to see your data. Yeah, again, once you're in the program, and we'll be able to watch the training specifically on that, and we'll be able to answer any questions you may have about that. And I'll send it over to Chase for number 3 on here.
So I'm Chase. I'm the Marketing and Communications Associate for the Good Food Bucks program. So I help run our social media pages, I run our blog, as well as create outreach and marketing materials for our program as well as for partners. I'll also be doing some trips out to some farmers markets this summer, just to, do some tabling, do some direct outreach, and just kind of gain some insight into how the program is doing and, how we can improve marketing and awareness of the program. So our main goal with marketing and communications is to make the program as successful as possible for both shoppers and for our partners. So we want to make sure that the people in your community are aware of your market and are aware that they can use their SNAP benefits at your market and get this additional benefit of the Good Food Bucks program. Like we've previously said, like not everyone is always aware of that they can use SNAP at farmers markets and other nutrition incentive programs. So we just want to make sure that they're aware of that and that they can use it at your market just to boost that awareness. We also want to
Robbie, can you
show
the slide? Sorry.
Oh, yeah. And then we also want to increase visibility for your market and farm stand. And yeah, just make sure the program is running as smoothly and as successfully as possible. So a part of my role is to create marketing materials for partners. So an example is one of the pictures here where we have these 2 flyers. It says how Good Food Bucks works, and you snap Good Food Bucks so that we would be able to put your logo. We would be able to add, the time of your market is open, and just the general marketing material. We also make banners, tabletop signs, and posters. And these are all just to, as I said, increase awareness and show people that, they're welcome here. They can use SNAP at your market and also get this benefit of Good Food Bucks. We also do, as I said, site visits. So hopefully this summer I'll be coming down to your market, being able to meet with you, meet with shoppers, and just market the program further. And then in addition, we're launching these partner support plans. So we found that there has been some trouble with some markets, having awareness for people to have awareness that they can use SNAP at the market. So we've created an evaluation that can help us figure out how to move forward with certain partners who need that extra assistance, whether that is connecting with community partners, whether that is having different marketing materials in different languages other than English and Spanish. So just try to grow the program, make sure that people are aware of it, and make it as successful as possible. So as I've said, we really just want to make sure that the program works for our partners. We really want people to be able to use this benefit, get it out to as many markets as possible. We post a lot on our social media about Good Food Bucks, and we also really like promoting the markets that we do work with. So we'll make sure to always post when your market is to make sure as many people know about it as possible. And as I said, just know where they can use their benefits. So I'm really excited to work with all of you and meet many of you in the future.
Thank you, Chase. Yeah, you can apply today for the Good Food Bucks program. The application is due next month on April 15th. You can find the application and more information at our website at goodfoodbucks.com/markets. This webpage has most everything that we talked about today, so you can check everything out here that we talked about. It has some testimonial from current partners as well. And this big yellow button here is the button for applying for the program. The application probably takes about 30 minutes to an hour. So make sure to take some time and sit down with it. It should save your progress while you're working on it, but we also have a link to preview the application questions if you want to review that ahead of time and make sure you have all of your answers together, anything like that. This application is for new Farm Direct partners. It takes a little bit to fill out. Again, these are all things that we're asking are required for us to ask from the USDA for all of our partners. It's exact information that we need from you. Also, you'll need your FNS number, anything related to your SNAP authorization. It'll also ask about how many vendors you have if you're a full farmers market. It'll ask about what items you sell. It'll ask about where you're vending, if you're at multiple locations or if you're just at one, what county you're in, all of these kind of things, mailing address. Yeah, so it'll take a little bit of time. Thankfully, for returning partners in the future, you will not need to fill out this entire application from scratch. We have a abbreviated reapplication form that we send individually to each partner. And with that form, it turns a hour-long process into I've seen partners fill out in 5 minutes. We sent it out in November this year, and we had a partner send it back in 15 because it has all of your information from the previous year, and it's just asking you to update with current dates for the new year and just to review if anything needs to be edited or changed. But yeah, the application is open now. It's due April 15th. As Lisa said, the requirements for the program are to be SNAP authorized and to have EBT equipment to receive a contract and to receive funding from us. However, if you are not SNAP authorized yet, if you're just interested in becoming SNAP authorized, if you have submitted your application to the USDA and haven't heard back yet, we encourage you to still apply, still fill out the application. That gets you into our system so that we know that you're interested, and then we can have a one-on-one meeting with you. If you have any questions about anything, we can keep in touch with you. Yeah, we encourage you to still apply, even if you don't have everything together yet, to make you fully eligible, because that gets you into our system ready to go for as soon as you do get that SNAP authorization and your EBT equipment, then we can just get you going and ready for the program from there. But yeah, again, applications due April 15th. We would love to have any of your farms or markets join the program. We want to just offer this with as many farms and markets as possible in New Jersey. That's really our priority, is to support New Jersey farmers like you all to make this program just available in as many places as possible and to support as many farmers as possible. Bring it back over to Lisa.
And I just want to mention all of our supporters who make the program possible. So Good Food Bucks is primarily funded by the GUSNIP program through USDA NIFA, the National Institute of Food and Agriculture. So GUSNIP stands for Gus Schumacher Nutrition Incentive Program. Gus Schumacher was one of the founders of nutrition incentives. So they've named funding after him. City Green was fortunate enough to receive in 2024 a large-scale GUSNIP grant. So we received a $2 million award to expand this program through 2027. And we also had all these amazing foundations support that application with some matching funds. So Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, the Tepper Foundation, the New Jersey Food Security Initiative, Albertsons Companies Foundation, and the Nutrition Incentive Hub. So we're super grateful to all of these funders for their support. And with that, we're able to, offer these reimbursements to farmers, provide this robust marketing and technical assistance support, and really make this program as available as possible throughout the entire state of New Jersey. We really have a vision of affordable, healthy, nutritious food for everyone in our state. And Good Food Bucks and these supporters are helping us get there, along with all of you who are, making this program happen on the ground. Yeah, so we hope that you all got a little bit more context about what the Good Food Bucks program is and an overview of how it works. Again, if you want more specific information about what this could look like for your farm and market, we are more than happy to set up a meeting with you. We really want a lot of farms and markets joining this program. So we'll move over to a Q&A. I don't know if we had any coming through the chat, or if you just want to come off mute or raise your hand, please go ahead and ask your questions. See, I'm not.
Hi, this is Chris Wagner.
Chris.
Is there a cost to apply for this?
No, there is no cost to apply. Where cost might come in is with your SNAP authorization. So while there's not a cost to become SNAP authorized, you may have to pay for your card reader equipment if you don't qualify for a free program, and to get your initial setup costs. So something that we don't provide is like these SNAP tokens that I was talking about. Some of your basic implementation costs are not covered under this grant. So there may be some startup costs to get ready to run the program, but there is no fee to apply or be involved.
I forgot to mention earlier when talking about the various grant offerings that we provide. Once a partner is in the program, we do also have grants that you can apply for reimbursing for your EBT equipment and for a staff stipend. That grant is limited based on our funding for those. We've typically had a significant amount for EBT equipment support in the past, but that could always change with increased demand. But yeah, that is another way that we try to support all of our partners to be able to offer this program, because, another cost for it isn't necessarily like a cost to be a part of the program, but it does just require some staff time to commit to it, as Lisa mentioned earlier. So we hope that the staff stipends that we provide can help make that more possible for all of our partners.
I see some questions in the chat. Sarah, do you have to participate in the Good Food Bucks program if you accept SNAP, or is it optional? Good Food Bucks is optional. This is a program that we hope that everyone will participate in, but it's not a requirement. This is like an extra bonus for folks to stretch their SNAP dollars further, and also to increase your revenue as a farmer or a farmer's market. So Good Food Bucks, any SNAP incentive program, definitely not required, but highly encouraged. Something that we should all think about too is there's only about 70 farmers and farmers markets in the whole state of New Jersey that take SNAP benefits. So if we really want folks to make shopping for local food part of the norm, part of the culture, then getting involved in SNAP and stretching those dollars further with Good Food Bucks is a really good way to do that. So not required, but we do hope that if you take SNAP, you will consider participating. Diane, I see your hand up.
I think I have a follow-up question to that. So we were looking at this as a way to supplement the farmer who is offering SNAP. But you're saying that we would have to get our own as the farmer market, host. We would have to get our own SNAP. We wouldn't be able to simply offer this program as a supplement to that particular farmer.
So not necessarily. It depends on the farmer. So if you only have one farmer and they're taking SNAP, it might work better for them to apply to be the Good Food Bucks vendor. If they're opposed to doing that and you still want that benefit at your market, then you would want to chat with them and talk about what that implementation could look like if you were taking SNAP on their behalf. There are other ways to do it aside from like the token. Like you could do it through something called a receipt system. So they'd be suspending their SNAP directly, but the farmer still bringing their SNAP receipt over to you as the market manager, and then you'd issue them their Good Food Bucks there. So, we'd have to talk about like what the specifics of your market setup are, but there are options for how to do it, and you don't necessarily need to apply as a market if you only have one farmer. It depends if they're willing to participate or not.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, and there's a lot of unique models that we can definitely make work as well. So we're happy to have a one-on-one conversation. There's every market's different, every farm's different, every grocery store is different. We try to make our program as flexible as possible. We give a lot of control to you all, like how you want to operate the program, what works best for you. So we can really be flexible and create something unique if there is something that works best for an individual partner.
Yeah, and I see, Joanne, your question is kind of similar. You only have one farmer. Should they apply directly rather than having the market apply? If they're willing to and they want to do Good Food Bucks, that is the more efficient way to do it, to have the farmer do it. If you have multiple farmers, multiple fresh food vendors, then it makes more sense for the market to apply and sort of manage the program on behalf of everyone. But if you only have one farmer and you're only planning on having one farmer and not taking any more in anytime soon, I would definitely encourage them to apply for Good Food Bucks independently. However, same thing, you could like work out a hybrid situation with them if that's what makes sense for your capacities and your market. And I see, Colleen, you have a question in here about your mother-in-law having SNAP. How would she sign up? So a really great thing about Good Food Bucks, it sounds like you're a shopper, not necessarily a farmer market, or maybe you're both, but people using the program, if you're using Good Food Bucks, there is no registration required. All you have to do is visit a participating market or grocery store and use your SNAP benefits, and you will automatically receive the discount or the coupon. So it does only happen at participating locations. So you can go to goodfoodbucks.com/locations and find a site near you that offers Good Food Bucks, but there's no pre-registration required. Any other questions? Yeah, and so, there are, I gave like an overview of how this works, but there are nuanced ways of how this can happen at your market. It will depend on your register system and your staff and who are your vendors. So we definitely do that one-on-one training with you. If you want to run this program, we will make it work for you. There's a lot of ways that Good Food Bucks can happen, and it can be nuanced. So we offer all of that one-on-one training and help you develop the tools and materials you need to make it happen.
And while we still have a couple minutes left, I'll also just mention like we get feedback from all of our partners regularly, and the overarching feedback that we always get is that like partners love being in the program, it works well for them, it's very efficient. Typically, we get the most feedback that customers just don't know that they can use SNAP at their local farmers market or their farm. So that's why, like with Chase talked about, like we're working really hard on promoting our program, doing more outreach, like doing individualized support for all of our partners just to get the word out there, because customers love the program. They give us calls being so excited that they're like getting twice as many fruits and vegetables. And it's a great incentive pull like FMNP to bring customers into your market who maybe wouldn't have come before. And it also can be a really significant boost to your income as well.
Let's see, Aileen asked in the chat, do we have a list of participating farmers? We do. So if you go to our location page, you can see all the farms and markets and grocery stores that accept and offer good food bucks. To keep in mind is also that some of these farmers markets have multiple farmers who vend at their market. So if, West Windsor Community Farmers Market has 5 produce vendors there, all of those vendors are benefiting from the Good Food Bucks program, even if they're not the implementing partner. We don't have that full list of like the 90+ farmers who participate in all the various farmers markets. We don't have a public version of it anyway. But yes, so the listing on our website right now is all of our partners that ran the program in 2024. We'll be updating it after April 15th. Once we get all of our new applications and new partners onboarded, we'll do an update of that map and location listing for 2025.
Yeah, and we'll have a social media post, blog post, like promoting our list of partners probably in May once everyone's like fully set up to be SNAP authorized. And we have had a significant amount of applications from new farms and markets for this year, which we're really excited about. And we hope to get even more by April 15th. And again, we're just really ecstatic to bring this program to as many farmers, to as many places, to serve as many community members as we can.
Any more questions just now? I'm just going to quickly share before we, wrap up in the next few minutes, our resource page as well on the website. This has all of those tools for SNAP authorization that we mentioned earlier. So you can download this workbook about how to become SNAP authorized in New Jersey. It's got all the steps and different tips and guidebooks, all the documents that you need to submit. And how to get your equipment. It's got details about all these different equipment types that you can opt for. So this is a really great page for you to kind of get oriented in what it's like to take SNAP. We have information about the different produce programs in New Jersey, an old accepting SNAP at your farmer market webinar. So if you want to sit and listen through a more detailed walkthrough of that workbook, you can tune into this. And take a look at the SNAP eligible items and all of these things. And then we also have some information on here about how to connect with agency around SNAP and FMNP at the farmers market and in your larger community. Okay, any other questions or thoughts? Is anyone considering applying for Good Food Bucks? Maybe put a hand up or put in the chat after you've heard the info session today. We have folks still considering it. Great. Okay. Well, if no one has any more questions, we will wrap up. Our contact information is all at the bottom of the page here. Awesome, Chris. Glad to hear you'll be filling out the application. We hope everyone on this call will fill out an application. Please do reach out to us if you need support as well. Robbie and Chase and I are here. This is our job to provide technical assistance to you all and get this program up and running. So don't hesitate to contact us. And we hope to be in touch with all of you. Have a great afternoon, everyone. We will talk to you soon. Thank you all. I think we can stop the recording probably, Chase.